years. I mean, right now CEOs are challenged regularly, with employees and getting the right type of people. I actually just got done reading a book. I don't know if we had a chance to talk about it. It's called The Talent War by Michael Cerulli.
Mm-hmm.
He's a SEAL. You know the guy in the story?
I know of the book. I haven't read the book.
Super
But the
recommend.
talent war is huge right now, and it's been going on for several years.
Right.
And especially as we look to bring manufacturing back to the United States, or just to grow manufacturing, whether it comes back or not, but in new arenas, there is a huge battle going on across multiple companies, whether it's defense, it's aerospace, it's in pharmaceuticals, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, it's in
they're
everyone.
all out for the talent.
Right. So as a CEO, what do you do to identify, interview, acquire, and maintain in-house talent? It seems so hard. It's no longer necessarily in the resume they send in and what they did in life, and these bullet points that are all set up to impress you. How do you see through that?
Well, I think there's a couple things actually since that book was written that have changed the game.
Right.
And one of them is called the pandemic.
Yeah.
And one of them, inside a subset of the pandemic, is the response to the pandemic.
Right.
And so, when people were told don't come into work, work from home, when people were laid off, and then getting more money than they would typically get when out of work, it creates some unintended consequences, I believe, and challenges. And so the number of people who want to work is still large,
Right.
but the number of people that want to work on necessarily your terms aren't as large as they might have been a year and a half ago.
I agree with that.
And so you've got to find ways to work the job description to be very, very clear, and to have an open mind, I think, as business leaders as well, which of the positions are critical that could still be done geographically separated, and which ones are critical that have to be done because of collaboration, cooperation, the whole brainstorming environment
Right.
that needs to be done face to face, and really make decisions on those, and then find the people that will fit that. But I don't think it's 100% one size fits all anymore. Like it never was, but there was a lot more that looked alike. Going to the office every day, parking in the parking lot, going to the cubicle, going to their office,
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Right. And just that scenario that you're describing sounds to me like we've been losing on efficiency so hard going to the cubicle. Like there's statistics shows that constantly 20% of your people are doing 80% of your work. How does a CEO, a leader, a chief or a C executive in the HR department, how do they solve for that? How do you improve on talent in the organization, maintaining it, identifying it? How does talent even look? I mean, for me, I know that the process they teach on the paper is go by the resume, see if he has the experience, required experience, but people write things all the time. When you sit down with somebody, if they ever even get to interview with you, what do you look for, and do you have an account of a story where you were just completely off and the guy was all the things you thought he's not, or the opposite?
Well, I can tell you that just in the past few weeks, those type of scenarios have occurred. Just inside, some of the companies that I'm well familiar with, especially my own, where paper gets you looked at. That's the strength of paper. You never jump to hire based on paper alone.
Okay.
Because when you sit down face to face, it usually doesn't take more than a few questions to find out how much of that paper really has depth to it,
Right.
and how much does it really reflect the person sitting in front of you or not.
Right.
And so I don't. I know some people carry around the one question that they're going to ask everybody, and it's the golden question, and then it gets
The silver silver bullet.
published. It gets published, and everybody goes, "Ooh, cool!" You know, if I
Now I
were
know the
interviewed
answer
by
to
that
that.
person, I don't know what that answer. I don't have one of those,
Right.
but I spend the time. And what I typically do is ask a question and then stop talking.
Just let them talk and then be the listener. They're very smart.
People will tell you a lot.
They will. Yeah, just give them an opportunity. What do you think about